When people think of SpongeBob SquarePants, the first thing that comes to mind is its funny, lighthearted humor. But what if I told you this children's cartoon has predicted the future multiple times? Just like The Simpsons is famous for its predictions, SpongeBob has also surprised fans with moments that came true years later. In this story, we'll explore 10 shocking times SpongeBob predicted real-world events, from technology and culture to strange coincidences that left fans stunned. Prediction number 1. Face recognition technology. In the episode Face Freeze, Season 8, SpongeBob and Patrick make silly faces, and their expressions get locked like permanent recognition patterns. Years later, fans realized this was eerily similar to how modern smartphones and AI cameras use face recognition technology. Back when the episode aired in 2012, facial recognition wasn't common. But now, in the 2020s, it's used everywhere, from unlocking iPhones to airport security checks. This makes fans wonder, was SpongeBob really joking, or did it unintentionally foreshadow how our faces would one day be used as digital keys? Prediction number 2. Self-checkout. In the episode Krusty Krab training video, Season 2, Mr. Krabs introduces a new self-serve Krusty Krab. Customers order and pay for their food using a touchscreen. At the time, this seemed like a crazy futuristic idea. But today, self-checkout kiosks are super common in grocery stores and fast food places. Some even have screens where you can customize your burger, just like Mr. Krabs' kiosk. It's safe to say, SpongeBob predicted the rise of self-service technology. No. 3. Solar panels. In the episode Squid on Strike, Season 3, Squidward tries to enjoy some music, but keeps getting interrupted by SpongeBob testing out various musical instruments. Frustrated, he yells, "If I had $1 for every time you interrupted me, I could buy a private island and build a giant statue of myself made of gold." Cut to a few seconds later, and SpongeBob says, "I think I have an idea of how to raise money for that." He unveils a contraption made of jellyfish and a large magnifying glass, saying, "Jellyfish power plus concentrated sunlight equals big money." This is exactly how solar panels work. They collect energy from the sun and store it as electricity. SpongeBob may not have known about solar panels in 2002, but his writers clearly had a vision of the future. Prediction no. 4. Text neck. In the episode The Algae's Always Greener, Season 7, SpongeBob looks at Patrick through a microscope and his neck bends unnaturally. This is a satirical take on how people spend all day looking down at their phones. The cartoon even pokes fun at people who walk around texting and end up literally walking into walls. This SpongeBob prediction was spot on. Text neck has become such a problem that doctors are now treating it as a real medical condition. Stay tuned for more. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to look at more moments when SpongeBob SquarePants predicted the future. From the internet to climate change, let's dive into the top 3 ways SpongeBob predicted the future. Part 2. Prediction #2. Internet and meme culture. One of the most shocking predictions came from the episode Something Smells, Season 2. In this episode, SpongeBob eats a sundae made of onions, ketchup, and peanuts, which makes his breath absolutely horrible. Patrick, trying to make SpongeBob feel better, tells him, "It's not you, it's everyone else, that's crazy." That single line became a viral meme years later on the internet. It perfectly fits how people online defend their unpopular opinions. The crazy part, this episode aired in the year 2000. At the time, meme culture didn't even exist. By the late 2000s and early 2010s, SpongeBob quotes, screenshots, and scenes started dominating social media, especially on platforms like Tumblr, Reddit, and Twitter. Today, SpongeBob is one of the most memed shows in internet history, with entire generations using it for reaction images, jokes, and even political commentary. It's almost as if SpongeBob's early episodes predicted the rise of internet meme culture before the internet was even ready for it. Part 3. Prediction #3. Climate change and environmental warnings. Another shocking prediction came from the recurring theme of Bikini Bottom being affected by pollution and environmental issues. In episodes like SpongeBob's Last Stand, and SpongeBob we see storylines about pollution, global warming, and even rising sea levels. At the time, these plots seemed like silly examples, but looking back now, many fans think SpongeBob was warning us about climate change before it became the global issue it is today. In SpongeBob's powerful winds and climate shifts force SpongeBob to build a stone structure to protect himself. A bizarre story that strangely echoes the idea of extreme weather events caused by climate change. In SpongeBob's Last Stand, the show directly mentions protecting the environment against harmful industrial expansion years before climate activism became mainstream. This makes people wonder, was SpongeBob simply a goofy cartoon? Or was it trying to tell us about the future dangers our oceans and planet would face? Part 4. Prediction number 4. The power of nostalgic rewind. Some fans believe that the show itself is a prediction of the future of nostalgia. As the series began to gain popularity in the early 2000s, it created a cultural impact that only became apparent years later. Today, millennials and even younger generations find comfort and joy in SpongeBob reruns, proving that the show predicted its own nostalgic power over future audiences. Additionally, the show's timeless themes of friendship, optimism, and kindness have ensured its longevity across generations, making it a comforting constant in an ever-changing world. Many fans even argue that SpongeBob's influence on internet culture and its ability to transcend age groups are signs of its impact on the future of entertainment and pop culture. It's fascinating to see how SpongeBob has evolved over the years, and how its early episodes foreshadowed the show's enduring legacy and influence on future generations. Part 5. Prediction #5. Reality TV. Boom. One of the most eerie predictions from SpongeBob SquarePants is how accurately it portrayed the future of reality TV. In the episode Squid on the Rocks, Season 2, Squidward becomes an instant celebrity after his rock band, the Squid Squad, wins a talent show. The episode humorously depicts Squidward's newfound fame, complete with screaming fans and the pressure to maintain his image. What makes this episode so eerie is how it mirrors the meteoric rise and sudden fame that reality TV stars experience. In fact, the episode can be seen as a parody of the genre, poking fun at the quick rise and inevitable fall from grace that many reality TV stars experience. Furthermore, the show also predicted the obsession with documenting one's life for online consumption, a trend that has only grown in recent years with the rise of social media influencers and the constant sharing of daily experiences online. Squidward's desperate attempts to maintain his image and appeal to his fans in order to stay relevant is a theme that continues to resonate with audiences today, making Squid on the Rocks a surprisingly prophetic episode. Part 6. Prediction number 6. Social media influencers. Back in 2004, during the show's early seasons, there was an episode called The Paper, where SpongeBob becomes an overnight sensation for writing a simple sentence on a piece of paper. The episode humorously depicts SpongeBob's sudden fame and how he is treated like a celebrity by the citizens of Bikini Bottom. He signs autographs, appears in commercials, and even gets mobbed by fans. What makes this episode so eerily prescient is how it mirrors the meteoric rise of social media influencers today. Just like SpongeBob, many influencers have achieved overnight success for creating seemingly mundane content. The episode also satirizes the commodification of fame and the lengths people will go to in order to stay relevant. SpongeBob's decision to keep topping his sentences with more outrageous phrases in order to maintain his popularity is a clever commentary on the influencer economy and the constant pressure to produce viral content. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe and leave a like. Until next time, SpongeBob's predictions were scary accurate. Part 4. Prediction number 4. Advanced technology and artificial intelligence in the episode. Welcome to the Chum Bucket Season 2. Plankton tries to steal the Krabby Patty formula by transferring SpongeBob's brain into a robot body. While this was meant to be a silly cartoon gag, fans today can't help but compare it to AI robotics and brain uploading experiments happening in real life. Think about it. Scientists are already working on brain-computer interfaces. Like Elon Musk's Neuralink AI is becoming more advanced, capable of mimicking human intelligence. Movies and tech experts discuss the possibility of uploading consciousness into machines. SpongeBob's robotic replacement joke from the early 2000s now feels like an early parody of artificial intelligence and human-robot integration. In some ways, SpongeBob predicted how humans would become fascinated and a little scared about a future run by machines. Part 5, Prediction number 5. The future of entertainment and streaming. Back in the episode Frankendoodle Season 2, SpongeBob creates living drawings that can entertain, cause chaos, and even change the course of the story. At the time, this felt like nothing more than a creative joke. But today, many fans see it as a weird prediction of user-generated content on the internet. Think about YouTube, TikTok, and streaming platforms. Anyone can draw, create their own world, characters, and stories. These creations often go viral, influence culture, and take on lives of their own, just like SpongeBob's doodles. Entertainment is no longer just what's on TV, but what ordinary people can create and share instantly online. In a strange way, SpongeBob's silly magic pencil became a symbol of how digital platforms would change the entertainment industry forever, letting fans become creators just like SpongeBob. Now, before we move on, we want to ask you something. What other predictions did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. We're always looking for more fun stuff to talk about, and your input is super valuable. So don't hesitate to drop your thoughts down below. And hey, while you're at it, if you're enjoying our content, why not consider sticking around with one of these two options? Both of them are awesome, so choose wisely. Now, let's get back to the video. Part 6. Prediction number 6. Climate change. In the episode The Algae's Always Greener Season 3, SpongeBob and Patrick visit an underwater society, thriving on a giant green algae plant. They seem to live a perfect life until SpongeBob accidentally kills all the algae, revealing a dark secret. Without algae, the water turns black and the fish have to flee, hinting at an ecological disaster caused by overpopulation. This episode, which aired in 2004, eerily foreshadows concerns about climate change and dwindling resources that we face today. Think about it. Overfishing, pollution, and global warming are causing real-world coral reef die-offs and mass extinctions. The episode raises questions about overpopulation and sustainability, urging us to consider how our actions impact the environment. It's a sobering message that's just as relevant today as it was almost 20 years ago. Part 7. Prediction number 7. Social media influencers. Back in the episode New Friends, Season 5, SpongeBob meets a bunch of cool new jellyfish friends who quickly become famous throughout jellyfish fields. But they turn out to be self-absorbed, shallow, and only interested in fame and fortune. This seems like a simple kid's cartoon about making friends, right? Well, some fans think it's actually a clever jab at social media influencers. Think about it. SpongeBob represents the average person, while the jellyfish embody the influencer culture. They gain fame for doing ordinary things, showing how easy it is to become an influencer. But their shallow focus on looks and status mirrors how some influencers prioritize fame over authenticity. It's a critique of how social media can make ordinary people famous for being ordinary, but also how that fame can lead to superficial behavior. The episode aired in 2008, just as social media was exploding in popularity. So some fans believe it was an early warning about the potential downsides of influencer culture, like the obsession with fame, the pressure to look a certain way, and how these platforms can make everyday life seem extraordinary. We hope you enjoyed this dive into the surprising ways SpongeBob predicted the future. Did any of these predictions catch you off guard? Or maybe you have some others in mind. Share your thoughts with us. And if you're as big a fan of SpongeBob as we are, don't forget to show your support. With that, we'll see you next time. So let's get this straight. A children's cartoon about a yellow sponge living under the sea has somehow accurately predicted the future on multiple occasions. Yeah, it makes you wonder if SpongeBob SquarePants is a time traveler, or maybe he's not. Maybe there's something else going on here. In part 6, we left off with a bang as SpongeBob accidentally blew up the city of Bikini Bottom. Now, our porous protagonist is going to have to deal with the fallout of his actions. But before we get into that, I want to thank today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Life can be tough. There will be ups and downs, and sometimes it can feel like you're just going through the motions. If you're feeling stuck or unhappy with your life, therapy can help you get back on track. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that makes it easy and affordable to get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. It's super easy to find a therapist that fits your needs and schedule. Just answer a few questions and you'll be matched with a professional therapist in as little as a couple of days. BetterHelp uses a proprietary matching algorithm that takes your preferences into account, making sure you're comfortable with your therapist. And if for some reason you don't click with your therapist, you can switch to a new one at any time for no additional charge. Therapy is all about making small changes to improve your mental health and overall well-being. Start living a more balanced, happier life with BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month with the link below. Now, let's get back to the video. Prediction number 6. Economic struggles. In episodes like SpongeBob, You're Fired, and others where SpongeBob briefly loses his job at the Krusty Krab, we see a cartoon version of unemployment struggles. SpongeBob desperately looks for work, tries different gigs, and realizes how hard it is to survive without his main job. Years later, the real world saw the gig economy explosion. People working multiple small jobs through apps like Uber, DoorDash, and Fiverr. Unemployment spikes during economic crises, like the 2008 recession and COVID-19 pandemic. The struggle of job security and financial instability. While SpongeBob always lands back at the Krusty Krab, his temporary hardships strangely mirror the real struggles millions of people face in today's unstable job market. Prediction number 7. Environmental issues and ocean pollution. One of the running jokes in SpongeBob is the pollution and chaos in Bikini Bottom oil spills, trash piles, and harmful chemicals thanks to Plankton's chum bucket experiments. At first it seems like silly background humor, but fans now see it as a warning about climate change and ocean pollution. Connections to reality. Plastic waste and oil spills are harming marine life. Coral reefs, like Bikini Bottom's home, are actually dying due to warming oceans. Environmental scientists now warn about the exact same issues that SpongeBob joked about decades ago. So, in its own goofy way, SpongeBob predicted the environmental crisis and showed us what happens when humans don't take care of the ocean. There you have it, part 6 and part 7 of our series. How accurate are SpongeBob's predictions? Well, some might call them coincidences, but I think there's something more to these uncanny predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. Could SpongeBob really be a time traveler? Is there some deeper meaning behind these predictions? Or is this all just a big coincidence? Feel free to share your theories. And hey, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more wacky adventures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello everybody, it's me. Welcome to my channel, and today we gonna look at 2 more predictions that SpongeBob SquarePants got right. Part 8, prediction number 8, technology addiction and virtual reality. In the episode Welcome to the Chum Bucket and others, we see SpongeBob and friends interacting with machines, computers, and even virtual-like environments. Karen, Plankton's computer wife, is basically an AI assistant. Long before Alexa, Siri, or Google Assistant were household names. Later, in SB129, the episode where Squidward travels to the future, SpongeBob and Patrick live in a strange virtual reality-like world where everything is controlled by machines. Connections to reality. Rise of smartphones and tech obsession. VR headsets, Oculus, PlayStation VR, making virtual reality mainstream AI companions and chatbots like me. SpongeBob showed us the dangers and comedy of a world obsessed with tech, something very real today. Part 9, prediction number 9. Space travel and life beyond Earth in Sandy's rocket, Season 1. SpongeBob and Patrick steal Sandy's rocket and try to explore space. They imagine life beyond Earth and even believe the people of Bikini Bottom are aliens. Years later, we saw a real-world obsession with space exploration. Elon Musk's SpaceX launching rockets into orbit. NASA planning missions to Mars. Billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson pushing space tourism. While SpongeBob made it a funny misunderstanding, it oddly predicted the future fascination with space and the idea of humans living beyond Earth. Alright, now it's time for a quick break from all this nostalgia. If you want to help out the channel, please hit like and subscribe. It does help out a lot. Now, back to the video. Part 10, Prediction number 10. Streaming services on demand. In the episode New Year's in Bikini Bottom, Mr. Krabs uses a remote control to change channels on a TV while watching the New Year's EV ball drop. This seems pretty mundane now, but back when SpongeBob first aired, cable and satellite services were still mostly the way people consumed TV. The ability to watch whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, was just beginning with the introduction of the DVR. And streaming as we know it was still years away. Netflix didn't even start streaming until 2007. Connections to reality. Rise of streaming giants like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and many more. Consumers cutting the cord and canceling expensive cable packages. On-demand shows and movies becoming the norm. We can now watch anything instantly with a click of a button, just like Mr. Krabs. Part 11, Prediction number 11. Social media. In the episode Rock Bottom, Sponge and Patrick get separated, and SpongeBob has a nightmare that Patrick has been turned into a statue and is now part of a monument. SpongeBob wakes up in a panic, having to realize it was just a dream. But his anxiety was all because he hadn't talked to Patrick all day. SpongeBob's anxiety is hilariously over the top. But he explains that not seeing your friend for just one day makes you feel like you've been apart for years. Today, we can all relate to feeling anxious when we haven't seen our friends for a while. And with social media, we can actually see what our friends are doing every day, no matter how far away they are. Connections to reality. Rise of Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and more. Instant communication through text, DMS, and video calls. Social media anxiety and FOMO. We literally carry our connections in our pockets everywhere we go. Well, that's all the time we have today. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Now, this next part is for those of you who would like to see part 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here it is. Part 3, Prediction number 3. The internet. In the episode Mid-Sized Shorts, SpongeBob is playing a game on his computer, presumably connected to the internet, and he accidentally spills his drink on it, shorting it out. At the time, personal computers were becoming more common, but the World Wide Web was still in its infancy. The first widely used web browser was uncreated until 1990. Connections to reality. Rise of worldwide internet usage and connectivity. Personal computers and laptops in almost every home and office. Smartphones and tablets giving people internet access anywhere, anytime. The internet has become one of the most important parts of modern life. Part 4, Prediction number 4. Online shopping. In the episode Krabby Road, Mr. Krabs sees a Krabby Patty restaurant across the street from the Krusty Krab and becomes so overwhelmed with the competition that he faints. Later, it's revealed that the competing restaurant was just a mirage caused by a faulty TV. The idea of a TV showing something other than a regular channel was quite imaginative for the time. Connections to reality. Growth of e-commerce and online shopping. People buying goods and services over the internet instead of going to physical stores. Businesses using digital storefronts to reach wider audiences. Thanks to the internet, we can shop from virtually anywhere in the world without ever leaving our homes. Part 5, Prediction number 5. Self-driving cars. In the episode Tea at the Tree Dome, Mrs. Puff is driving SpongeBob and the other kids home from boating school. When her car suddenly starts driving by itself, she freaks out, but luckily, the car eventually stops on its own. This is a clear reference to the development of self-driving car technology. Connections to reality. Advancements in automotive technology and artificial intelligence. Companies like Tesla, Waymo, and GM investing heavily in self-driving car development. Increased use of AI and machine learning in transportation systems. We are getting closer and closer to the day when self-driving cars will be on the road. Part 6. Prediction number 6. Food delivery in the episode Pizza Delivery. SpongeBob gets a job as a delivery guy at the pizza place. He uses a scooter to deliver pizzas to customers, sometimes taking shortcuts that put him in danger. Later, he learns the importance of following rules and being careful. Connections to reality. Rise of food delivery services like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. Customers wanting faster and more convenient ways to get their food. Restaurants using delivery services to reach more customers and increase sales. With just a few clicks, we can have almost any food delivered to our doors in a matter of minutes. Here's one prediction from the show SpongeBob SquarePants that came true in real life. In the episode Fungus Among Us, Season 4, SpongeBob catches a strange fungus that spreads quickly through Bikini Bottom. The characters panic and quarantine SpongeBob, who is very sick by this point, and even shut down public places to contain the infection. This is very similar to what happened in 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic shocked the world. People were quarantined, entire countries shut down. We had social distancing, masks, and even panic buying. The way the episode shows fear, isolation, and the unknown is pretty similar to how people felt during the pandemic. This was actually the second time that this episode aired. The first time was in 2006, and at this point, no one really knew what to do about the virus. It was just starting to spread around the world, so the people in charge started to make some pretty drastic decisions. This was also the first time we saw a mask-wearing character other than Squidward, which was pretty prophetic. Also, the fact that the citizens of Bikini Bottom started to turn on each other, blaming each other for the sickness, is also something that we saw a lot of during the pandemic. It's unfortunate that this episode is so accurate when it comes to predicting things that happen in real life. But if there's one thing that we can take away from this, it's that no matter how bad things seem, they will get better. So don't lose hope. Now, if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to stay tuned. Also, if there's a show that you would like me to do this with, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next time. Have you ever noticed while watching SpongeBob that he lives in a pineapple under the sea with a pet snail named Gary? Well, if you've ever noticed that, then you probably already know that SpongeBob's world is a bit different from our own. But did you know that SpongeBob actually predicted the rise of artificial intelligence and robots? Yep, you heard that right. The creators of SpongeBob predicted the future with some uncanny accuracy, and it's not the only thing they got right. In part 11 of our series, let's take a look at how SpongeBob predicted the rise of artificial intelligence and robots. Over the years, SpongeBob's world has introduced several robots, but one of the most famous is the Plankton's robot. Like Karen, his computer wife, these robots aren't your typical mindless machines. They act almost too smart for their own good, just like real-life AI. Remember when Plankton's robot took over the chum bucket, or when Karen gave birth to a baby Plankton? Those moments weren't just funny. They were also eerily accurate predictions of what was to come. Today, AI technology like ChatGPT, self-driving cars, robot assistants, and smart homes is part of our daily lives. What SpongeBob showed us was a funny version of what we are now experiencing in 2024 to 2025 with AI everywhere. But it wasn't just the robots that were smart. Other characters on the show also exhibited human-like qualities such as emotions and decision-making abilities. For example, in the episode The Algae's Always Greener, SpongeBob's neighbor Squidward becomes a robot and gains a new appreciation for his life as a sentient being. This could be interpreted as a prediction of how AI might evolve to have its own desires and goals, which is a common theme in science fiction stories. But why do fans find this prediction so interesting? It's because SpongeBob aired these robot-themed episodes years before AI became a household concept. Now when fans rewatch those moments, they can't help but say, SpongeBob knew it all along. The creators of SpongeBob are geniuses when it comes to predicting the future. They've already predicted the rise of AI and robots. But what else have they gotten right? Stay tuned to find out what other predictions SpongeBob made in Part 12 of our series. Don't miss it. Part 12, Conclusion. Why SpongeBob's predictions shocked fans over the past parts. We explored how a cartoon meant for kids somehow predicted major world events and trends. From the internet, climate change, financial crashes, health crises, AI, and even cultural changes. But why do fans believe SpongeBob predicted the future? To answer this question, we'll look at 3 possible reasons. Satire with truth. The creators of SpongeBob used satire, exaggeration, and parody to make people laugh. But in doing so, they also reflected some real-world problems that would later become true. For example, in the episode Squash Bob, SpongeBob gets a driver's license despite being too stupid to realize a carrot is actually a steering wheel. In reality, there have been cases of people getting licenses without proper training or testing, which is obviously dangerous. This episode aired in 2004, long before the viral video of a Tesla driving itself crashed due to a fake license. The writers cleverly used satire to point out the flaws in the system, which ended up being true in real life. Similarly, in the episode Pest of the West, SpongeBob makes fun of people who take photos with their pants around their ankles. Just a few years later, this trend started popping up everywhere, proving once again that SpongeBob was ahead of its time. Observational genius. Another reason fans think SpongeBob predicted the future is because the writers are geniuses when it comes to observation. They closely studied human behavior, rapidly developing technology and societal trends, then exaggerated them for comedic effect. For instance, in the episode The Paper, SpongeBob and Patrick tried to make money by collecting paper, which becomes scarce after a massive paper jam in Bikini Bottom. This seems like a silly story until you realize that the internet was becoming overloaded with user-generated content, just like the paper in the town. And who better to comment on this phenomenon than SpongeBob? Similarly, in the episode Krabby Road, Mr. Krabs takes advantage of a traffic jam to sell Krabby Patties out of his car. This is exactly what food trucks do, which didn't become popular until years after the episode aired. It's no coincidence that a cartoon could predict these trends. The writers simply observed and exaggerated the world around them, creating timeless comedy that sadly is often mistaken for prediction. Cartoons as social mirrors. The final reason why fans think SpongeBob predicted the future is because cartoons are not just mindless entertainment. They're actually a reflection of the present world, which sometimes gives us a glimpse of what's to come. Think about it. When SpongeBob first came out, it was a simpler time. The internet was new, technology was evolving rapidly, and global issues seemed far away. But as time went on, the show didn't shy away from addressing real-world problems, all while keeping its comedic tone. This approach allowed viewers to laugh at the absurdity of everyday life, while also being aware of the issues surrounding them. SpongeBob became more than just a cartoon. It became a cultural touchstone that helped fans navigate the complexities of the modern world. And this is why, even 20 years later, SpongeBob feels fresh and relevant. Many of its seemingly silly jokes connect to real-world issues that fans face every day. So for those in the USA, UK, and around the world, SpongeBob is not just a funny cartoon. It's a strangely prophetic one as well. Final thought. From artificial intelligence to environmental issues, technology, politics, and global events, SpongeBob has somehow predicted a lot of things that later happened in real life. Some say these were coincidences, while others believe they were clever writing. But one thing is certain, SpongeBob will continue to be a timeless legend. Whether you're a longtime fan or a new viewer, there's something for everyone in Bikini Bottom. So keep an eye on SpongeBob. Who knows what it might teach us next? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.